and activities for children. And then our street performers actually begin about 4:30. So what happens in Hollister is people start setting out chairs and for the parade fairly early. They want to get their seats because it gets very, very crowded to see the parade. So we have performers that will start about 4:30 and will perform about every 10 minutes rotating. We have two different performance areas that the performances will be taking place. And then the parade starts about 5:30. And will run until about 7:30, just depends on how many entries and how long it takes to get to it. All of the entries in the parade are have lights. They're required to have lights, and they're spectacular, really, really beautiful. We have music, we have dancers, and we have Santa Claus, the real, honest-to-goodness Santa Claus.
Well, the real Santa Claus.
The real Santa Claus. He's here.
And we wondered where he'd be going.
That's where he's going to be. A number of years ago, we wrote a story about how Santa Claus came to be in Hollister for the Lights On celebration. And the character that brings Santa to Hollister is called Jamie the Elf. Jamie leads the parade. She's the one that initiates the parade and gets everything started. So after the parade is over, there's photos with Santa. And we have just hundreds and hundreds of families line up to get their photo taken with Santa. And then at the same time, downtown's decorated for the holidays, the trees, the bows, the buildings, the windows. It's really beautiful.
Sounds like a magical day.
It is. The thing that I like most about Lights On is it is what I would call a great good thing. It's just the community coming together, and you see family and friends. It's free. You walk around. Kids are running in the street because it's closed, and it's just a wonderful way to start the holiday season.
We're talking about Hollister's Lights On celebration, and it is November 24th, Saturday, all day, 10 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. That's Kathy Sheridan, the president of the Hollister Downtown Association, and executive director Brenda Weatherly is here with us, too. You must plan for this almost all year round.
We do. We've been meeting since January of this year,
right,
basically, to
How
plan
do you coordinate it? A lot of people think, this parade, how does anybody organize such a thing?
You were asking earlier about what time it starts, and I was thinking 6 o'clock in the morning, because that's when we all get out there
right,
to make it all happen, and so that when it does kick off at 10, when everybody else can start attending. But really, it's hundreds of volunteer work, hours and work that we get donated from our local people. We've just decorated the trees with lights and bows this last weekend. I mean, it's continually, we're just putting everything into place over several weeks.
In November alone, we logged 650 volunteer hours just in November.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of personalities to try and coordinate, too. That must be an interesting experience.
It's fun. We really haven't had any problems. A lot of times we get the same people back every year doing the same jobs or doing different jobs. But people are really generous and are happy to help out. They understand the end product, and they really want to be a part of it. So we don't have too much trouble getting volunteers to help us make it all happen.
Not like when Brando and his Wild Bunch came to town.
No.
It does sound like a fun event, and the thing about it is everything transforms here at the radio station when we start playing the holiday music. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine Hollister is turning into kind of a winter wonderland. But as you tell it, it sounds like it's a fairly gradual experience, because you say you started already with the trees and so forth, and bit by bit. And then on the 24th, that's when the real magic begins, huh?
Well, and what's really nice about Lights On and downtown in general is a lot of nonprofits use downtown or the event as their focal point for their activities. So, for example, the Girl Scouts are going to do a badge ceremony at our decorated tree forest that we have. And other organizations are using this opportunity to help promote what they do. I know Granada Theater is going to have some activities going on.
There's a stage performance that night by Hillside Christian Fellowship Church. And we've got the bell ringers, the Presbyterian bell ringers, and Oriana Corral will be singing. And and then the Methodist Church is going to do their pancake breakfast that morning. So that starts at 8 o'clock, I believe, or earlier.
Right.
So there's just, it's an activity that everybody's kind of seeing how they can fit in and make it even better by adding their piece to it.
That's wonderful. And our part is to show up and cheer.
Yes.
Show up and enjoy.
I think that'll be easy.
Yes.
Well, that's a wonderful thing. So the funds that you raise, you mentioned matching funds and so forth. Where do they go? What organizations benefit?
Well, for the 12 Days of Christmas, the organizations are going to be receiving the benefit of all these donations. Chamberlain's Children's Center, which works with children who have emotional disabilities. CASA, which is a court advocate for young people organization. Emmaus House is a shelter for women and their families. The Community Food Bank, which helps provide food for people who need it during the holidays. There's a homeless coalition that will be receiving funds, and then the Salvation Army as well. So everything will be distributed to these 6 organizations just out of this one activity, out of this one 12 Days of Giving activity.
Well, actually, it sounds like 365 days of giving, maybe 366 if it's a leap year.
Yeah,
A year-round thing going on there. What are your favorite memories of this particular holiday event? You've been doing it for years now.
Our Santa tells a wonderful story about how he was in the event and he came and he got off the fire truck, because Santa and Mrs. Claus come in on a fire truck. And he's standing, and of course, there's a lot of children who just rush up to Santa Claus. They're very excited. But he noticed there was one little boy that was just kind of hanging back in the corner. And he was watching Santa very, very carefully. And he watched for a long time. And suddenly, he runs up really fast, and he grabs Santa around the knee, and he gives him a big hug, and then he runs away really fast. And it's one of my favorite memories, one of my favorite stories that comes out of the event.
He's just waiting for his moment.
He's just waiting for his moment, and
had to work up his nerve, maybe.
Had to work up his nerve, and run over there and give his knees a squeeze and run away.
That's great. How about you, Brenda? Family memory, something like that?
I just enjoy seeing all the people come out and just seeing the whole event unfold. I mean, there's so much work going into it, and how it just kind of seamlessly goes together that night. And it feels so magical. I enjoy that part of it, just seeing the fruits of all of our labor coming together.
And it goes till about 8:35, 8:30?
Yep.
So your favorite moment is about 8:45.
Yeah, we usually the committee ends up usually once everything's pretty well packed up. We head over to Running Rooster and have a little celebration.
Miller time. Well, thanks for sharing your story with us. We're looking forward to the big event. Everybody, now you know where to go on the 24th. Hollister Downtown Association. The 12 Days of Giving begin, and the fun begins on Saturday the 24th. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can get a closer look at the Hollister Downtown Association and the Lights On celebration, the 12 Days of Giving, at www.downtownhollister.org, or you can call this number, 831-636-8406. South Bay Sunday. We'll be right back.